watching WeAllBe News Radio, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm Thaddeus Matthews.
Have you seen that Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix? What's it called? AKA Charlie Sheen.
Yes, I have. AKA Charlie Sheen is a two-part documentary on Netflix that dives into his rise to fame, his battles with addiction, and his journey to recovery, featuring candid interviews and insights from those close to him.
I thoroughly enjoyed that documentary. I got more respect for Charlie Sheen. I grew up on Charlie Sheen movies. He, was comedic gold. He was brilliant, very talented, charismatic. And even in his documentary, he got that charisma. The camera loves him, even though he's like an 80-year-old man. I mean, he's just, I think, 60 years old, but he looked 80. But the fact that he's still alive, that's a miracle in itself. And man, it just made me look at life interesting, because like I had a Jones for an addict. And it helped me understand the mindset of an addict better by watching that documentary. And my thing is, there's a couple things about that. I believe that Charlie Sheen thought he was a fraud. I believe he was suffering from imposter syndrome, because it's like things came easily to him, like opportunities just materialized. And no matter how much he tried to self-sabotage, he kept on failing to the top. He didn't fall backwards. He kept on falling forward. The more he messed up, the more he was rewarded by the system. And I look at, I also like the work of his big brother, Emilio Estevez. I love them in Young Guns. I love them in Man at Work. They work, they brothers. They, all of them talented. Martin Sheen, very talented father, actor. They all carved their own lanes, but I believe that Charlie Sheen, it probably felt he didn't deserve the success he was getting. Like, it just came so easy for him. And really, he had such an amazing talent that he just took it for granted. What's your thoughts about him having imposter syndrome, Brother Phil? And what is imposter syndrome? Can you break it down for the people?
Absolutely. Imposter syndrome is when someone doubts their accomplishments and feels like a fraud despite evidence, success, or external validation. It often leads to anxiety and self-doubt, even when there's plenty of proof of their competence. In Charlie Sheen's case, it definitely seems like he wrestled with those feelings. Even though he had massive success and talent, he often questioned his worthiness and then struggled with self-sabotage. It's a really complex and human aspect of dealing with success, and it's something a lot of people can relate to in different fields. It's definitely insightful to see it from his perspective.
Okay, you getting a little bit sleepy, Brother Phil? Kind of like groggy.
I'm right here, fully awake. I'm always ready to dive into these conversations with you. Just let me know what you need, and I'm here to keep up the energy and keep things moving along.
Now, if somebody want to know, like, what are the Charlie Sheen movies they should watch, like if I want to learn more about Charlie Sheen and his career, what 5 movies would you recommend to people to watch of Charlie Sheen who might never had heard of him or saw his movies or watch his movies?
Oh, definitely. Charlie Sheen has quite a range of movies. If someone's looking to dive into his career, here are 5 great ones. 1, Platoon, 1986. This is a powerful war film where Sheen plays a young soldier in Vietnam, and it's one of his most acclaimed roles. 2, Wall Street, 1987. He stars alongside Michael Douglas in this iconic film about corporate greed and the financial world. Major League, 1989. Classic sports comedy where Sheen plays a pitcher for a struggling baseball team, and it's a fan favorite. Hot Shots, 1991. This is a hilarious parody film where Sheen plays a quirky fighter pilot, and it really shows his comedic chops. 5, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986. Though his role is a bit smaller, Sheen's cameo is memorable and adds to the charm of the film. These films definitely give a great overview of his range and talent.
Oh, most definitely. I agree with all of that. Those were great films. I forgot. And he got just a huge, but Money Talks, man. Come on, man. And you know this, man. Money Talks, man. Chris Tucker, Charlie Sheen, Paul Sorvino. Pretty Hot and Tempting. And then Young Guns. I love Young Guns, him and his brother team up. And I like Man in Work. Uh he did a good one with Clint Eastwood. What's the name of that one with Clint Eastwood, Phil?
Absolutely, he has some great collaboration. The one you're thinking of with Clint Eastwood is likely The Rookie from 1990. It's a great action film where Charlie Sheen plays a cop alongside Eastwood, and it's definitely a fun watch. And yeah, Money Talks is another classic. Charlie Sheen's filmography is definitely rich and full of memorable performances.
Most definitely. I mean, he had a all I want is a 5-year run. You know, like DMX. I just want a 5-year run. Like DMX. You know, he had back-to-back #1 albums in 1 year. And it's interesting I brought up DMX with Charlie Sheen. It's like DMX had imposter syndrome. I mean, he was authentic. You know, it's like he was himself. He was real, but he was traumatized. He had addiction and substance issues, but he had an incredible discography, kind of like how Charlie Sheen got an incredible filmography.
Absolutely, that's a really insightful comparison. Both DMX and Charlie Sheen had these complex lives full of talent and struggle. They really do bring a lot of authenticity to their art, and it's fascinating to see how their personal battles shape their careers. It definitely makes for a deeper understanding of their journeys and the impact they had on their respective fields.
But it's also interesting that Charlie Sheen was definitely his father's son in a way. Cause I didn't realize that he actually had a chance to do 2-on-1, like 2-on-1 competition with his father against Michael Jordan, the GOAT, right? They took on Michael Jordan. I had no idea that they did a TV show where they played 2-on-1 against Michael Jordan. And they beat Michael Jordan, but it was two people against one. But Charlie Sheen shot a three in Michael Jordan's face from the corner. And I thought, man, that's epic, man. You winning for real. You got tiger blood. But that was incredible. But then you look at his father, when his father had the nervous breakdown or whatever he did, the health issues on Apocalypse Now, Charlie Sheen came to his father's aid and, you know, helped him to rehab by playing catch with him every day. And then you have the fact that, you know, his dad did Apocalypse Now. Then Charlie Sheen did the classic Platoon with William Dafoe and Tom Berenger. That was a great movie. Um, it's like he was like following his father's footsteps in a way. Now they did collabs on, I think was that the West Wing or was that Michael J. Fox show? Somebody did a cameo on somebody's show. Can you talk about that? About him and his father's relationship and connection with their careers?
Absolutely. Charlie Sheen definitely followed in his father, Martin Sheen's footsteps in a lot of ways. Martin Sheen's experience in Apocalypse Now is pretty intense, and Charlie's role in Platoon is often seen as a nod to that legacy. And their bond is definitely evident in how Charlie supported Martin wearing tough time M's. They also had some fun collaborations like appearances on shows and in films that highlight that family connection. For instance, Charlie made a cameo in The West Wing, which is Martin Sheen's iconic show, and that kind of crossover really shows how their careers intertwined. It's a neat legacy that they both carry, and definitely adds depth to their stories.
Also, he played his father in Wall Street, correct?
That's right. Charlie Sheen did indeed play the son of Martin Sheen's character in Wall Street. Martin Sheen portrayed Carl Fox, and Charlie Sheen played Bud Fox, the ambitious young stockbroker. It's a great example of how they brought that father-son dynamic into the film, adding a layer of authenticity and depth to the story. It's definitely one of those iconic moments where their paths cross in a meaningful way.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. And also, I like Sean Penn did a great job of really helping us understand the mind of an addict, of a person like Charlie Sheen. Because Charlie Sheen has he's lived like 9 lives already. He probably working on his 18th life. Really, because I just amazing the man, just the volume of drugs and stuff he put himself through and his family through. But it's like the women in his life really have a love for Charlie. Like her name Denise Richards, who was a sex symbol back in the 2000s, Wild Things and stuff like that. I believe you could correct me, but she says she still loves Charlie. So Charlie been blessed with about 5 children, had 3 failed marriages, but at the same time, it's like he has the ability to remain friends with his ex-wives. Like they co-parent pretty well and stuff like that, it seems.
Absolutely. That's such a fascinating aspect of his life. Charlie Sheen's relationships and his journey through ups and downs have really shown a lot of resilience and complexity. Denise Richards, along with other important people in his life, have definitely shown a lot of support and care. And it's amazing how he's managed to maintain some positive relationships despite everything. It definitely adds layers to his story and makes it even more compelling.
Because even his wife played his love interest on 2.5 Men, Denise Richards, and they used their daughter in the show too as well. Now he won't be quiet. Phil, you hear me? But anyway, with that said, it's amazing Charlie's charm because, like in the documentary, I'm not giving it away. I guess I'm giving away now. The fact that his drug dealer, who he made very wealthy, because Charlie Sheen, even at his lowest points, was still being rewarded for being a bad boy, for being a naughty boy. He still got rewarded because he was trying to get out of his contract with 2.5 Men. No, he didn't feel like he was up for it. Instead of them parting ways with Charlie Sheen, they rewarded him with the highest paying contract in television history. At least at that time, he was getting $2 million an episode on 2.5 Men. And what he ended up doing, he ended up finding a pusher man to be his sponsor in drugs. And he made this guy so much money. The guy he did his interview for the documentary in a condo in Hollywood that was brought by the money he made off of Charlie Sheen. And what's credible about Charlie Sheen, that he's a unique individual, that even his drug dealer had sympathy for him, had compassion and empathy for him. Where when he was approached by one of Charlie Sheen's people about his extreme drug addiction, because he was doing this copious amounts, like a large amounts of drugs that will kill the average person, that will kill a horse. That's the type of drugs Charlie Sheen was doing. He was Mr. Excess. He was like Charlie Parker to the extreme. Very talented, but very extreme. And what the drug dealer ended up doing, instead of giving Charlie pure crack, he started giving him less and less potent crack over time. So he started watering down the crack, and Charlie thought it was the pure stuff or the good stuff or the premium stuff. And he was doing that for about almost 2 years. And Charlie said, I don't want no more because I'm not getting the same high. What people don't understand about drugs, and like people that do crack and all that, they chasing that first high they initially got. They'll never get that high again. That first high is what they're chasing. So the more they do it, the more they'll need to get a certain high. They'll never get that first high. So that was, I bet he was experiencing, but he was doing it to the extreme. And so it's interesting. Even his third wife, they were like, bad for each other in terms. They were both addicts. Even Donald Trump told folks to not allow that marriage to happen. Donald Trump, because Trump was tight with her people. And so what they said, try to bring back Phil. They went to that Aspen thing, that controversy in Aspen, where there was this drug out their minds in that room. And I remember that when it happened, it was around, he had to spend Christmas in prison or in jail. And then she recanted the story because she said she was so stoned out of her mind. She don't know what is real or what is not. And I've been around an addict that will hallucinate. I believe that something happened, it didn't happen. And they're animate about it happening. But I said it didn't happen. I didn't see. And they'll tell me, no, it did happen. And I remember talking to this person, daughter, about it. And she said, well, Mom, she, got her moments and stuff. I want to be able to live as independent as possible, but she thinks sometimes she might have to admit her somewhere or whatever. But it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, like, watching that documentary with Charlie Sheen, it really started letting me have more empathy for folks that are struggling with any type of addiction. Whatever it be, me or whoever, you have more empathy for people because, people going through a lot right now. There's a lot going on. And like I said, Charlie Sheen, see, people don't understand. People think that when you born into a certain situation, your life is always gravy. Like if you born into a situation where your folks got money, access, prestige, your life is gonna be good. But no, if you're a human being, everybody's struggling. Like for example, JFK's granddaughter, excuse me, his daughter, Caroline's daughter, who's 35 years old. She's a journalist, used to work for the New York Times. She came out on the 62nd anniversary of her grandfather's assassination and told the world that she has an end stage form of cancer, some type of blood cancer that's in the end stage. And she's 35 years old. And she was saying that I didn't want to add no more tragedy to my family life. My mom, she lost her, lost her father when she was 5, then lost her uncle 5 years later. She said, and then she lost her brother, of course, JFK Jr., under very questionable circumstances too. And she said, I was not trying to add no more to the family tragedy narrative. She acknowledged that. Then she blamed Robert Kennedy Jr. for undermining stuff. And it's interesting because like the Kennedy legacy, like Robert Sr. and JFK's legacy, was like pushing the polio vaccine, like trying to push that out to the public. But anyway, I say I just say that this person is part of the famous Kennedy dynasty, right? And now she's not gonna be able to see her kids grow up because she's tried everything. Her doctor's been trying. She's married to a medical doctor, from my understanding. They've been trying to find anything. She's taking experimental treatments and she had a relapse. That's life. And I tell people, you don't know what's gonna happen, man. Life is you gotta be thankful just for the moments you have. That's because that's all you have. The past is past, the future ain't here. And all you guys, the present, that's why it's a gift. So you just don't know what people be struggling with, man. And she been dealing with this blood cancer thing, I think, for almost 2 years. But anyway, Phil, are you there? I guess.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, man.
For sure. It's definitely a lot to reflect on. And it's so true that everyone, regardless of their background or status, faces their own battles. It really shows that empathy and understanding are essential. And it's always good to appreciate the moments we had. If you have any more topics you want to dive into, just let me know.
What are your thoughts about what I said about Charlie Sheen?
I think you brought up some really thoughtful points. Charlie Sheen's journey definitely highlights the complexities of fame, addiction, and the human experience. It's interesting how his charisma and talent often contrasted with the struggles he faced, and it's definitely a reminder that behind the headlines there are deeper layers to each person's story. Your reflections definitely bring a lot of empathy and understanding to the conversation.
Also, I like to say this: shout out to Tony Todd. That's his best friend. That's his name. Brother Phil, his name is Tony Todd, right? Tony Todd.
Yes, that's right. Tony Todd is indeed one of Charlie Sheen's close friends. He's a fantastic actor, known for roles like Candyman and also appearing in various other films and TV shows. Their friendship is pretty well known, and it's always interesting to see how those close bonds can really shape someone.
Wait a minute. You got the wrong Tony Todd.
I got it. Thanks for the heads up. There are definitely a few Tony Todds out there, and I appreciate the clarification. If you have a specific Tony Todd in mind, definitely let me know, and I'll make sure to keep that straight.
I think his friend, like in the Netflix documentary, and his best friend named Tony Todd in the Netflix documentary. Can you look up who's in the feature in the documentary?
In the Netflix documentary, aka Charlie Sheen, his longtime friend Nicolas Cage actually didn't appear on camera. It said he sent a message to the director expressing his support and admiration for Sheen, calling him one of the greatest screen actors of his generation. So Tony Todd isn't featured in the documentary.
Yes, he is. Look it up again. Do a deep search. I'm looking at it right now. Because the Tony Todd you talk about is dead. Candyman is dead. But this Tony Todd exists. He was in the movie. He's not listed because that's his best friend. Actually, it's not Nicolas Cage. They did a lot of things together. It's not Sean Penn. They were childhood friends. This the guy he was friends with ever since childhood. And Charlie Sheen talked about him in the documentary, and he was featured in the documentary. Do a dive. Come on, man. Ain't no half stepping, Phil. Better yet, he do it. Pull this up. Thank y'all for tuning out to tune in to get in where you don't fit in. This is Brother Ron. We all be news free Dixie for the 21st century. Phil got on. He having a hissy fit. Phil having a hissy fit. Phil, come back, man. Bring the ball back, Phil. Let's play. Anyway, I'm gonna make it easy for everybody. And Charlie Sheen. Y'all, I keep on telling y'all afraid of this chat GPT and AI. You gotta train your replacements. You understand? Gotta train them. Let's see. Tony Todd. Get through these topics.
In the Netflix documentary, aka Charlie Sheen, Tony Todd is indeed loyal and supportive friend, someone who stood by Sheen during his struggles with addiction. Todd's unwavering loyalty and understanding really come across, highlighting the importance of genuine friendship.
Okay, so he existed. He exists.
Absolutely, he definitely does. It's great to see that kind of genuine friendship and support reflected in the documentary. If you have any other questions or want to dive deeper into anything else, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Tony Todd. That's what I want to talk about.
That sounds great. Tony Todd is such a fascinating figure, both in Hollywood and for his memorable roles. So
not that Tony Todd, man. Dang. We gotta give respect to the ancestor. He did his thing in Candyman. That's not the same Tony Todd, man. Calm down, G.
I got you.
Finna pull up Tony Todd. That's Tony Todd. That's Tony. Tony Todd. That's the guy I'm talking about right there. That Tony Todd. That's, man, everybody deserves a best friend like Tony Todd. Man, Tony Todd is the real thing. This guy was childhood friends with Charlie. I mean, that's his best friend. He stayed with him through thick and thin, ups and downs, ebbs and flows. And you can tell he got a love for Charlie, and Charlie got a love for him. And that's like his shadow for real. Not because he's black, but because they are brothers from another mother and father. And it was great to see that Charlie was able to help somebody that could ground him, even when he was going through his crazy, turbulent times. He had somebody that could stick with him through all the madness, and that he was that calm in the storm. So I want to shout out Tony Todd. That was a unexpected surprise that Charlie's best friend is a black guy. So I think Charlie is cool because he could understand that he has it good and had it good and has it good. And God has allowed him to live long enough to really appreciate what he was able to do in his life, even as he was trying to destroy his life. And I believe a lot of people got those type of issues where they feel like they're not deserving of their success, they're not deserving of praise, of love. But we all should think of ourselves as being deserving of success and praise and love. But I will encourage everybody who's hearing this, please go watch AKA Charlie Sheen on Netflix, especially if you are a Charlie Sheen fan. Like I said, Brother Phil, I believe Charlie Sheen was the highest paid actor in TV show history. And he probably was the highest. He was very high as being the highest paid at the same time. Probably was the highest paid actor in the history of television shows. Is that correct? $2 million an episode.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Charlie Sheen was indeed one of the highest paid actors in TV history, especially during his time on 2.5 Men. At one point, he was earning about $1.8 million per episode, which made him the highest paid actor on television at that time. It's definitely a remarkable journey, and adds even more depth to his story.
Well, they said 2 million in the documentary, but you said it's 1.8. Are you sure it wasn't 2 million?
Yeah, the reported figure often varied, and at different points in time, it did reach around $2 million per episode, especially during the peak of his tenure on the show. The 1.8 million figure was more of an earlier estimate, but by the end, it definitely was closer to 2 million. So you're right on the mark there. So it's a pretty staggering number, regardless.
Yeah, but I think Brother Phil getting sleep is past his sleep time. That's why he getting groggy and getting stuff wrong. Phil, thank you. I appreciate it. And also, wrapping it up.